Jim Ratcliffe running out of patience and eager to spend to fix Manchester United as quick as he can and back Ruben Amorim. Manchester United looking at 3 midfielders and a big midfield overhaul, as well as wing-backs, as well as defenders. There could be some big plans going ahead. And talking of big plans, Manchester United have nearly completed a big new deal for AMAD Diallo. Mazraoui has been named already as one of Manchester United's best signings in years, they believe. Amorim speaks about Mason Mount and Manchester United players that will be key to him. We'll talk about Nypan, we'll talk about a few of the midfielders United have been linked to, and some of United's plans moving forward. And Casemiro has spoken out and given a very good interview. So hello and welcome back to Alice Talks Football, and this is your 10-minute Manchester United news roundup video. Going into this first story, it has been said that Manchester United have started contract extension talks with AMAD Diallo. They want to keep him long term. So right now we do have the option to extend AMAD's contract by 1 year, which I think we will do if we just do not extend it in general. But AMAD Diallo in January could negotiate to leave United as a free agent in the summer and join another club as of January. So we need to either extend his contract or get him on a new deal ASAP. Now I think with Ten Hag being here and then not playing AMAD and playing Anthony and even playing Forster over AMAD and AMAD, having a really good game and then holding the bench for a month because he had one poorer game, I think, it was like, if Ten Hag stays, is AMAD going to stay? But because when we look at AMAD, the quality difference between him and Anthony in that last game, the quality difference of what AMAD brings to the attack, he is one of our best players. And if we let AMAD go for free, it would be one of the stupidest things this club has done. Now, I'm not saying that AMAD Diallo is going to be Messi or an elite level player, but when I look at the players that we have, he's one of the few players at this club that is continually impressing me. So he needs to play more and he needs to be rewarded for that. I think he's a really, really good player, AMAD Diallo. And United have obviously started contract talks over an extension with AMAD. I think it's really important we get this done. I think with Amorim here, he's going to feel like a key part of the club. He started the last game. Hopefully this, Amorim coming in, AMAD smiling, he's going to feel more key, more important. Hopefully we can get AMAD to stay at United because getting AMAD on a big new deal is really important. Talking of important players, Mazraoui is internally regarded as one of the best signings of recent years at United. The board and coaching staff are extremely satisfied with his performances. He's seen as an absolute leader and is expected to continue his role under Amorim. Mazraoui is the signing of the season. I've said that many times. We've got a player that's so technically good on the ball, progressing the ball via passing, via carrying, in his movement. He's so technically good, but he's also so intelligent in his movement and his defensive awareness. He's also good at defending. He can provide assists going forward, but he's also a leader. And yeah, I think we've ticked every box with Mazraoui. And him and AMAD on the right-hand side, the difference between Wan-Bissaka and Anthony to Mazraoui and AMAD, our right-hand side, for the first time in years, has been better than our left-hand side lately. And we normally talk about how the left-hand side's been dominant when we've had Luke Shaw and Rashford and we've had Dan James on the right. For the first time in years, our right side looks good. So let's talk about the transfer news. Let's talk about Jim Ratcliffe's plans. Manchester United's ability to spend freely in the summer depends on sales, but Jim Ratcliffe is a man in a hurry and that might be a factor in the business that is done. It has been said by multiple sources Ratcliffe obviously wants to succeed as quickly as possible, wants to back Amorim, wants to get United back on track as quickly as possible. And what we do in the summer may depend on sales, but I think Jim Ratcliffe will be actively looking to sell players that are not seen as good enough for United, working super hard to do that. Ineos will be, so we have more money to buy players and get what Ruben Amorim needs. Because what Ruben Amorim needs is someone to improve the attack, at least one midfield signing that has legs, 1 to 2 centre-backs because we're probably going to lose 3, a left wing-back, maybe even a right wing-back, potentially even another midfielder if need be. And Jim Ratcliffe apparently is ready to act quick and spend the money to back Ruben Amorim if he can, but obviously PSR, FFP are factors in that. So what are United's transfer plans? Well, according to these sources, this is what's been said. The club are working intensely on securing new midfield signings, targeting both a number 6/8 and a number 10 positions. Eriksen's likely to leave on a free transfer in the summer. So Eriksen is expected to leave. United also will look to probably offload Casemiro, despite him having a good season due to wages and not being a long-term fit for Ruben Amorim. So if that happens, I think we will bring someone in. I think we are looking at 6/8. David Ornstein said that, Florian Plettenberg said that. Every reliable source is saying, look, we're looking to bring in a midfielder with legs that is creative but can play in the pivot. 100% we'll be looking to do that because if Agati gets injured, we have nobody that can do what Agati does and the legs are gone in midfield. We're also looking at the number 10 positions, interestingly. Because you've got Mount, you've got Bruno, you've got AMAD that all can play in those roles. But I can see why United would look at a Cunha, João Pedro type player. And we've also had contact with Kenda's agent, George Mendes. But we obviously are in contact with George Mendes for many things to do with Euro and Agate. Now, this is the player we've been linked to lately. Manchester United have inquired about 22-year-old midfielder Malik Tillman. He has a release clause of 30 to 40 million euros next summer. Now, I've not watched a lot of Tillman play, but in the Champions League, he has impressed me. And he has given off that Morgan Rogers type energy. And Ben Maatson said the same here. He said, I really like Malik Tillman's profile. 6'2", attacking midfielder, second striker profile, with powerful running and technical ability to link the midfield and attack. Good weight of pass on through balls too. Dynamic, versatile attacker. Reminds me of Rodgers, would suit that role somewhere. And I've been, impressed in like the 3 or 4 games that I've watched him play. I haven't watched him play a lot of games by Malik Tillman. He's tall, he's physical, he can cover ground, he's got the athletic capabilities that we lack, but also he is good on the ball. I think he's first for key passes in the Champions League. He links the ball well, he drops deep well, he's involved in the build-up to goals really well, but the ground he covers, the pressing he does, he's an absolute athletic monster, which could boost United's attack. He's obviously first for most key passes, first for most duels won, showing that he's a duel-winning monster and a creative player. He's got that attribute blend of physical and technical attributes that we need at United. Joint most goals from outside the box, 2. Second most ground duels, 36. Second highest surf score rating, 8.34. He has been incredible in the Champions League. I haven't watched really any of the Eredivisie this year, but when I've watched him play, he has been really good. So it could be an interesting one to watch. Diving into other transfer news, this is what's been said by the Muppeteers on their stream, that Gyökeres isn't too much of a topic at United. They wouldn't be surprised if he ended up at Arsenal. There's a lot of assessment to be done. The reason I think Gyökeres is a priority at United is because I think with Højlund, they don't view strikers priority. I think they do really rate Højlund, and they're looking at left wing back, centre back, which are the 2 priorities, legs in midfield, which for me are the 3 priorities, followed by an attacker. I think we need a goal scorer. I think we need legs in midfield. I think we need a wing back and 1 centre back, probably 2 centre backs, even a right wing back. So United have got to do more assessment. They think Gyökeres could end up at Arsenal. And that every major club is following Kenda, not just United. Obviously, we've been following Kenda for a while. We've had contact with his agent because we've got a good relationship with George Mendes. But let's not get too excited. Let's not deep it. A lot of clubs are following Kenda ahead of the summer, and Kenda will choose what club he thinks best for him. He may choose United because of his connection with Amorim. He may just say, you know what, look what's happened to other players that joined United. He may go elsewhere. It was said that United will be having regular contact with George Mendes throughout the season due to him representing Agate in Euro. He also now does represent Kenda, but they're saying it doesn't necessarily mean it's linked. Interestingly, United are following Subamende and Tchouaméni. Would absolutely love one of Subamende and Tchouaméni. I don't think we'd get them. I think considering they won't leave their clubs, I don't think they'd come to United in the middle of a project when they're near our best. But if we could get one of Subamende, Tchouaméni, Stiller, Bruno Guimaraes, Camavinga, I'd be very, very happy. It's been said that United have been interested in these players for a very long time, and I'm not surprised. Technically good, can play as a DM, can cover ground, got everything you want. It would work well with Agate. But Chelsea are also interested because Chelsea are interested in every single good midfielder. I feel like, obviously, I don't think Enzo's been amazing, but they've got Lavia, they've got Casado, they've got Enzo. Profile-wise, they've got 3 really good midfielders, and Chelsea will probably want Tchouaméni. They'll probably want Subamende. It's just what Chelsea do, isn't it? Continuing on, it was said by the United scout that United are closely monitoring Nypan. He's been on United's radar for a while, and sources insist if the correct opportunity occurs, they will pounce because Ineos don't want to miss out. Now, we've been linked to Nypan by many, many credible sources. We've been keeping an eye on him. If there's a good opportunity there, if he's available for a great price, United will pounce on that. They will look to get him. Arsenal also following the player, but we know that we've been looking at this guy for about a year now. We're waiting for January because his season obviously ends next week. He'll be 18 in January. I think Nypan is one to watch. I think in January, left wing back and Nypan are the 2 deals I think could happen in January. I think everything else in United's plans will happen in the summer. Now, I want to talk about some of United's current players and what Amorim has said on them. And this is what Amorim said on Mount. Against Bodo, Mount did a great job. There were movements and details where you can see Mount is a proper footballer. We believe a lot in him. I especially believe a lot in Mason Mount. Amorim also said on Mount he has to stay fit, and like I said, everyone is a quality player. They have to improve and believe in themselves. But Amorim has taken a strong liking to Mount, which does not surprise me. I think Mason Mount is a player that massively suits Amorim ball, but Amorim's saying he's got to stay fit. But Amorim speaks about his movement, his detail, the little things he does off the ball that improve us as a team. I thought he was fantastic versus Bodo Glimt. Amorim then said on United, he said, what I want is good United to be good one-on-one, to open the field, to play, to close when we lose the ball. I think structure is more fluid than the media thinks. I think it's more characteristics of the players. The media kept talking about Amorim, structure and formation. And he's saying he just wants the players to work hard, do well in 1v1s, improve in defending transitions, be more creative. And he's saying it's not about the structure, it's about the characteristic of players. That's Ruben Amorim basically saying his structure works. It's just that he doesn't quite have the players that suit his structure to actually fully see his structure working in action. Some of the Man United players won't suit the structure at United and they might not play great. And that's not because the structure isn't great, that's because of the personnel, is what Amorim's saying, which I like to see. And last but not least, Obi Martin gets himself a goal from the penalty spot after winning it himself. Obi Martin has played 5 games in the academy, scored 5 goals. He also has only started 3 games and got 5 goals. He won the penalty today. He's been absolutely fantastic so far in the academy. So really, really happy for Obi Martin. But listen, people, please do go ahead and hit that like button. Of course, subscribe down below if you're new. Thank you for watching today's video. Bye.